Hello everybody and welcome back to a very festive episode of Nostalgia Vade.
Oh.
I am joined, as always, by Mr. Claus himself. He's got a bowl full of jelly and he sees you when you're sleeping.
Hang on, okay, the sees you when you're
George
sleeping
Sheard.
bit, I get that, okay, bowl full of jelly? Is that a Santa
Bro, I
thing?
look so red on this camera, I've just realised.
Hang on,
Yeah? Bro, you're going to have to learn this if we're going to do Night Before Christmas.
a bowl full of jelly?
Yeah.
Since when the fuck
You
is...
never read The Night Before Christmas?
I don't think so, man, that's not really my thing. Neither is,
What?
fucking Michael Bublé, but you know, it is
When
what it
you
is.
sleep.
Oh, no. We have different Christmas traditions. You have a bowl full of jelly and Michael Bublé. I have...
You do know the bowl full of jelly is because he has a big belly.
I didn't clock that. But why
the
jelly,
thing.
though? Why jelly?
Yeah.
I don't understand
Because
that.
it's like the phrase is like and it moves around like a bowl full of jelly. Hang on.
That's
Night
that seems a bit sus.
before.
I can't lie. That's a bit of a strange
Christmas.
description of anything.
Before Christmas, Santa desk. Yeah, because there's like a massive thing where they describe Santa, and it's one of the things that they describe.
Okay.
Him with.
Well, anyway, Cooper, what are
Yeah.
we doing today?
A jolly elf who brings joy to children and adults. Where is?
You're a jolly elf who brings joy
There
to
we go,
children
and a little
adults.
round belly that shakes when he laughs. There you go. Good. And I'm wearing green, so it makes sense.
What are we doing today? 2 minutes
Mary
in.
Chrysler. It is.
Merry Chrysler, everyone.
It is the beginning of the festive season. It is the beginning of the best season, and I will not take anything. Oh, that feels nice looking up at the camera.
Ooh, look at him with
It
his
is the
new
beginning
camera
of the festive
setup.
season.
We are getting sidetracked
It's
like
the
already.
beginning. It's the beginning of the festive season. I love Christmas. I've got my Christmas jumper on. I've got my festive stuff in the background. You can see it by
look
now.
at
You
that,
can
look
see
at
some
that.
stuff.
Look at that.
We are going to be starting off the festive season by doing a top 5. But what are we
Oh,
going to do?
holy
top 5
shit.
of?
Are we doing a
top 5 Christmas movies?
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think the easiest top 5 I've done.
We've done
I'll
really.
put it out there.
I'd say it's quite difficult because I feel like
Really.
there's not that many Christmas films that I like. Like you're talking about like top 5 films. Oh, it's pretty easy. Top 5 Christmas
Yeah.
films. Yeah, I think it's harder. There's some in my top 5 that I don't actively like. It's just kind of
Yeah.
crazy, but it's only because they're like iconic and I love watching them. As a
Nostalgia.
kid.
I think, genuinely, if I go on my top 5 list, I think my most of, if not 3 of my 5 are nostalgia.
Have you got any honorable
picks.
mentions?
I have 4 honorable mentions.
Oh fucking hell! We're gonna have to rattle through these. Right.
Yeah.
Let's no further ado. Crack on with your honorable mentions. Do some ping and pong.
Okay. So, my ping number 1 is Santa Claus the movie, 1985. Again, very heavy nostalgia. I used to watch this a lot when I was a kid.
Santa
It's been
Claus the
years since I've
movie.
watched this movie. It is, I kind of read the synopsis today to try and remind myself. It's basically a guy who works in a toy store who essentially
Oh, that one.
like becomes Santa Claus, and then he
Right.
works with an elf, and then the elf gets sick, and then the elf like basically abandons and goes and works for like this massive corporate enterprise, and then it's about like Santa having to go and save this elf, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Banger movie, has some great like. There's a scene that I'll always remember, which is where he like first sees the reindeer and they like sprinkle the reindeer dust on the reindeer, and he goes round and like pets all the reindeer and stuff like that. And yeah,
realise
it's
that's
a
what
it's a banger movie. It's such a bang. Like it's massive. 1980. It was mid 1985.
No,
It's
I've
massive.
seen.
Like the set.
I've
pieces.
never seen this film, but
Like, when he
I've
walks through the
seen...
toy shops and stuff, it's mega.
Cool. I've never seen this film, but I know of it. Cool.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Genuinely, like it's old, but it's a banger. It's a banger Christmas movie.
It's a fair one. I like that.
One I remember.
I'll throw in. I'll pong. Muppets Christmas Carol, because I haven't seen it.
Can we hold off to talk about this?
That's
one?
all good. All I'm gonna say is I haven't seen it
Can
in
we
years.
hold off?
I know it's excellent. I've not seen it in years. I plan to watch it again this year. So it's like kind of like in that liminal space between like in the top 5 and not really because I haven't seen it and can't really say much about it. Go on then.
Yeah,
I'll pong that.
can we hold
We'll
on to
hold
talk
off on
about
that
it? My second honorable mention, my next ping is It's a Wonderful Life. Have you seen It's a Wonderful
I
Life?
have. I thought it was boring.
Again-
but that's maybe my attention span, TikTok generation vibes.
That is true. I watched it for the first time. It's my dad's favorite Christmas movie. And it's one of his favorite movies of all time.
It's my dad's favorite Christmas movie as well, and I think that just says a lot.
I saw it for the first time last year because me and my family have a tradition where we go to Tyneside Cinema every year to see like they basically show Christmas movies.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
we go every year. We've seen Elf, we've seen Home Alone, we saw It's a Wonderful Life.
Nice.
We are currently in the process of trying to book for this year, but there's literally been full-on arguments in my family group chat about what movies we're going to go and what movies we're going to go and
what's
see.
it between?
Like, so I argued. So one of the movies which I'll talk about because it's my number one, which I'm not going to mention. It's mine and my sister's favorite Christmas movie, and we really want to go and see it at the cinema. But my dad absolutely despises it. My dad wanted to go and see Gremlins, and we were like, absolutely not. So then I suggested, okay, let's go and see Love Actually.
Gremlins is a good film. It is set at Christmas, but I don't know if it's a good Christmas film.
But out of the movie that we wanted to go and see, Love Actually, and Gremlins is like the least I'd want to go and see, if that makes sense.
Right, okay.
That's just kind of how it is.
Fair enough. That's what I'm saying.
So I suggested Love Actually, and then got absolutely roasted by my dad for saying I want to go and see
Love Actually. Is a good Christmas film, isn't it?
Good movie.
I think it's good. It's classic, isn't it?
Yeah, so It's a Wonderful Life. Went to see it last year. It really resonates with me. Obviously, it's about like a man who sees his life if he wasn't there. It like with being at uni and like the way that I with not having such a great time at uni, like it really like the ending really, really, really hit home for me. Like I was in tears at the ending. Like it's so like
I
I
need to rewatch it in a way because I feel like
it's such a like
haven't
It's a man's film. It's 100% a man's film because it's like, and not in like a sexist way, but it's like it's
like a Yorkie chocolate bar.
Males. It's like a Snickers. It's Snickers, get some nuts. Come on.
Oh, do you remember the Yorkie thing, or am I playing to the wrong crap? No, like the Yorkie chocolate bars used to have on them like not for women.
Wait, did they actually?
Did you not? Are you too young for this? I mean, must have been by like a year.
Probably no. Probably. Maybe.
This is definitely in your. Sorry, this is really off track. Yorkie chocolate bar, not for girls. You used to say. In 2002, they launched it. It used to have like a female sign with a cross through it as the O in the Yorkie.
Oh my god!
Just Google it, honestly. I'm not lying to you.
I'll have a look.
But
in
2011,
I don't mean it's like I mean, like, it's not like women shouldn't watch this movie. Women can't watch this movie. It's a bit like, have you seen Stand By Me?
Yes, she's Stand By Me.
It's the same vein as Stand By Me.
I get
it's the same vibe. It's a boys' movie. Like Stand By Me is all about like a group of friends who go and see a dead body. Like it's about like male friendship. Well, this is more tackles like it kind of tackles men's mental health like years and years and years before it was a massive standpoint thing. It's like it's kind of
it's probably one of the earliest examples of it, isn't it? Really, I suppose.
Yeah. That's why I say it's more for a male movie.
A good shout for your honourable mention. I like it. My remaining two honourable mentions are both TV specials. I was only thinking of this. They're kind of a bit like off, I guess, cheating, not really films, but there are numerous Christmas films. But what doesn't really get talked about is like we'll talk about a lot about like family traditions and watching things.
Yeah.
Most of the films on my list aren't like traditional ones to sit down and watch. The way my family kind of works is like we will watch TV specials, like ones that are known. And I haven't got it on this list, but I'll mention like the Blackadder Christmas special, where it's like Scrooge basically. Like it's a classic. It's almost like a must watch every other year or something. So this is Knowing Me, Knowing Yule with Alan Partridge. Is a sort of spin-off of in the Alan Partridge iconography. It follows his series, the singular series of Knowing Me, Knowing You, is sort of fake chat show, and this is the Christmas special of that, where everything gets derailed and he loses his partnership with the BBC, and it is brilliant over the span of like an hour. I have seen
this Christmas special, and it's fucking incredible.
It's so funny. It's really clever. There's a lot of like jokes in it, but there's a lot of jokes about like brand sponsorship and like selling out. And it's very much a huge piss take on like Noel's house party, so I really like it, and it's a really like I don't know, it's an excellently funny Christmassy sort of watch, and like Alan Partridge is very like something I grew up watching with my family, which is kind of daft, I know, but like I did, that's why I associated with. So like last year when I went home and watched this, I'm sort of like, God, this is actually something I want to watch like every year for Christmas because it's so daft and it's so funny, and I just get a kick out of it. Like it is really funny. So that's my mention. I think this special is great. If you haven't,
a couple of years
you should watch it again.
Really good, yeah.
But I think now you've done a podcast as well, Cooper. You'd really appreciate all the references to like brand partnerships and like what you can say on TV and what you can't. It's very clever in terms of what it includes, especially for the time as well. But yeah, that's my pong.
My next is a standard. I'm not going to go on for too long. Home Alone. Good movie.
Great.
But I put it on mentions. It's not one that I would choose to watch, but
really?
when it's on, I would watch, if that makes sense.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm not saying it in the sense it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, but it's like it's such a not standard. It's such like a solidified Christmas movie that's like you will watch. I've watched this once every year, like every Christmas.
Can we hold off?
But
on
again, it's like
about Home
it's
Alone
always
in
on
more
TV.
detail?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about Home Alone in more detail. Yeah, I apologize.
I'll throw my last one in, which is another sort of set of TV specials. Have you seen The Royal Family? As in the royal family, not the royal family. As in the. Oh, I was gonna say something really bad there, but I can't. The royal family in Buckingham Palace, as in the series, the British comedy series, The Royal Family.
No, I've not seen it.
They did like 3 series of it way back early 2000s, and then they did like Christmas specials only. This, I would say specifically the Christmas special called The New Sofa, but also like the Golden Egg Cup, and there's another one as well, Jacob's Crackers maybe. There's a few of them where it's really like got this warm Christmassy vibe. If you don't know what the Royal Family is, it's essentially just it's Gogglebox before Gogglebox it was a thing. Funnily enough, created by the same people, Caroline Aherne and Craig Cash, who star in it. They sort of created Gogglebox, which is where people sit in front of the TV and just react to the latest in the news, right? The Royal Family is a TV comedy they made before that, which essentially is this little Englander, kind of northern Manchester-based family who sit and watch TV, and the whole thing is just set around their living room, and then they, whatever, like that. The dad's sort of lazy and disgusting and grim, comes out with some outrageous stuff, but they just sit and watch TV and chat about their life, and you learn about their life through jokes. But also, it just is a very, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very warm early 2000s northern family Christmassy vibe, especially the Christmas specials, and it just reminds me of like my sort of growing up with like, and not that family dynamic, certainly not, but like, I don't know, little things from like the ornaments and like the decorations. There's a sort of early 2000s vibe of nostalgia that as I get older, I am more like, wow, that's warmth for me, like that's home for me. And there's, again, it's like all that sort of thing. Anything that reminds me of home, anything that reminds me of being younger as a kid, Christmas especially, since living away from home, is so much nicer now to experience. And the Royal Family Christmas specials are no exception from that. And there's some of them, I can't remember exactly which ones are the best, but they are a must-watch for me every year. And I thought it deserves a mention because they don't get talked about enough. It's a really great, underrated little comedy series. And the Christmas specials and the legacy of those Christmas specials are genuinely brilliant.
Yeah.
So
very nice. Yeah. My final honorable mention. It is The Holiday. Have you seen this movie?
I watched it last Christmas Eve for the
Cameron
first
Diaz,
time.
Jude Law, Kate Winslet, Jack Black.
And I thought it was shit.
Okay, I've not seen this movie in like years, right? I've not seen this movie. It generally must be going on 5 years since I've seen this movie. Yeah. But I remember watching this movie for the first time. It was on the TV. Bro, I loved this movie so much.
Really?
It was such a... but again, it's been 5 years. I could be absolute dog shit and I just remember it horrifically. I remember absolutely loving this because I'm like... My guilty pleasure is like the hopeless romance movies, like Love Actually, like Notting Hill, and it reminded me of like that.
I get that.
Not as good, obviously, but
I
remember absolutely loving it.
It's like 2.5 hours. It's so long.
It's long. It's like
it's so much longer than it needs to be.
2
For
hours
a rom-com, it could have been an hour and a half, and it still could be.
No, it's an hour and a half for each couple.
Yeah, fair enough. You got me there. Very good. I just think it's a bit naff, but it's a proper. It's a rom-com. It's Christmassy. It's fine. It's stomachable. I'm never going to watch it again.
Yeah, that's fair. I do need to rewatch it because it could be absolutely horrific, and I would swiftly take it off this list. But I remember it just being really good.
That's fun.
So yeah, that's my last honorable mention.
Cool. Okay.
Happy?
I'm happy.
Do you want to go first?
Fucking
or
happy.
To go first?
I can go first if you want. Let the host go last. So my number 5 is a film that I've seen once.
Oh.
And it is a film which came out last year.
Oh. A Christmas movie from last year.
That came out last year, and I've seen it once.
What?
And it is a Christmas movie, and it is a brilliant Christmas movie, and it is one that I will intend to rewatch and hope to God that it holds up on rewatch. It should have won Best Picture at the Oscars. I'm talking about The Holdovers. We've talked about this before on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a gorgeous...
Based as fuck.
What, have you seen it? You have seen it, yeah?
Yeah, we watched it for the Oscars episode.
Yeah, but I didn't watch all the Oscars films.
I deliberately watched this one because I knew it was your pick for top.
Sure.
I made sure that I watched it because I knew you loved it so much.
It's so warm. It's funny. It's very much a found family sort of vibe. Very Christmassy, festive season, and it's also that vintage vibe of it. The audio quality and the visuals, which make it feel like a 70s film.
Christmassy. I don't think
we watched it
in February.
Well, that's it. No, because in the UK,
January, February.
because in the UK it came out in January.
Yes,
but it came out in America for the Christmas period, and we got it after, so it was a bit pointless. Mm-hmm. But that's why I want to watch it around Christmas to see if I get that holiday kind of feeling. I feel like I probably would because it's a great film. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that. If you want to hear me waffle about how good The Holdovers is, you can watch our Oscars episode from way back when we did that.
What was it, episode
5? 6?
Maybe?
I kind of want to know. It's episode 4,
plan.
Cooper. It's episode 4.
Oh my god.
Oh, we've been doing this.
And then it's the live stream as well, obviously.
But yeah, I've waffled about my thoughts on The Holdovers on this podcast before. If you want to see it, you can go there. I'm not going to take up any more time with this episode, but The Holdovers is a great, great Christmas film, and I wanted to throw it in here because it's new, it's fresh, and I guarantee a lot of people here, listening, watching, haven't seen it because it's a relatively new one. Definitely check it out. It's very warm, it's very found family, and it's such a lovely vibe.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good.
Yeah.
My number 5 is a one that was originally in honorable mentions, and I was like, do you know what? No, this deserves to be in the top 5. It's probably a normie pick. It's a classic. It's a banger. It's Elf. Elf is that right?
Yeah.
Elf is that movie that I didn't think I would put on my top 5 because it's one of those movies where you're like, it's not as good as I remember, and then you watch it and you go, do you know what? It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's
a good Christmas
It's exactly
movie.
how I described when we did the TV show one, and I described Friends, and you're like, people go, oh, it's overrated, this, that, and the other, it's not that good, and then you watch it and you go, no, this is actually really good. It is funny. Some of the jokes that you think, oh, maybe they're a little bit corny. No,
that's how you feel when you
listen
to that.
It's wholesome. What?
I don't know. I was going with that. I was going to say, is that how you feel when you listen to Dissimulation by KSI?
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
I dissimulate when I don't dissociate when I listen to Dissimulation from one.
You bought your lunch, Leah, have you?
Classic. No, actually, I haven't. I've got Prime.
No. That wasn't an invitation to start promoting. We're both co-owners of this podcast.
Doesn't count.
What? I did not excuse the whole point of buying Nostalgia Bait cups is that we don't promote other brands.
It's just water, actually. So
water.
No, it's not water. It's water.
Water. It is water. To say it properly now, because it's actually a
brand. No, because water in the Northeast is an actual brand now.
I know, water. I do love that. Anyway, God, sorry, Elf.
Yeah, Elf is just. I just think Elf's one of those movies where I was like, it started as an honorable mention. I was like, you know what? No, because it's like, I will sit down and watch this movie, and I will absolutely love it and enjoy it. Not saying that any of my honorable mentions I don't, but this is one of those movies where it surprises me every year whenever we watch it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I get that.
There you go.
I don't love it, but I think for the time it came out, it was very much a new classic, and we haven't had a new classic in a long time. Holdovers, okay, sure, that's new, but it's not got that classic-y Christmassy vibe, where it's just sort of daft and fucking stupid. Elf is daft and fucking stupid. It's made for kids, but it works. It's funny for all ages, and it's a good laugh, and it's Christmassy overall. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's great. I just don't ever really want to go and rewatch it because I just find it a little bit annoying. But it's a good film. Don't get me wrong.
It's I always think that where I'm like, oh, it's definitely not as memories it's not as good as I remember. And then I will watch it. I'm like, you know what? It actually is really good.
I kind of ruin Elf for you in maybe a sentence though. Is it Elf?
Absolutely not.
Elf is basically the same film. It's not. That's a lie. Elf is basically Borat if it was a Christmas film for kids.
That makes it better. Like, how does that make it work? How does that ruin it for me?
No, good point.
Borat's a great... You say that like Borat's a bad movie.
My number 4. Yeah, my number 4. We could jump into that. Unless you have anything else to say about Elf.
No. Go ahead.
My number 4 is a film that I grew up watching every single year, pretty much, or most years. I have the most memories with in terms of like a Christmas film, to be honest. And that is The Santa Claus. Now, spelled Clause, starring Tim Allen, where he is a divorced dad and accidentally murders Santa Claus and then becomes Santa Claus. But it is a great film.
I have seen this movie. Yes.
And the whole thing is about like Santa Claus not being real, basically. But then he is, and it's very, I don't know what it is. There's something about this film where it's just very much like, I don't know, it's kind of like by the numbers kind of Christmassy film, but it's got that sense of realism and that like adult humor. Like when you're a kid, you watch it from the kid's perspective. Oh my god, his dad's become Santa Claus, that's so cool, yada 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 yada. You get to see the elf workshop, you see all that sort of stuff. But as an adult, you can watch it and you appreciate a lot of the adult humor from Tim Allen, who's very much just like does not believe any of it and is like, this is just fucking stupid.
So does the Santa Claus has sequels, doesn't it? It has Santa Claus 2 and Santa Claus 3.
It has too many sequels. It has Santa Claus 2, Santa Claus 3, and now it's got 2 seasons of a Disney Plus series. It's not...
So I actually, like, genuinely... I'm having to genuinely Google this. I've seen Santa Claus 2.
Yes.
And I've never seen any of the other ones.
Really?
Because I had Santa Claus 2 on DVD when I was a kid.
Right.
So we used to watch that every Christmas.
I see. Well, this Santa Claus,
I'm looking
like
through
the
the
original
photos
one,
of it.
it's like he is struggling to be a dad whilst also slowly becoming Santa Claus. That's the novelty of the film, is he's in everyday life and he's becoming Santa Claus. Like, he shaves and then he looks down, looks back up, and he's got a beard again. Like, his body is like
have seen it at some point.
malforming into Santa Claus. It's kind of crazy.
I probably have seen it at some point, but Santa Claus 2 is the one that I remember the most.
Yeah.
Which is the one I had on DVD.
And then you got the guy who's like the lead elf, who is now like a much bigger actor and was in Oppenheimer more recently, which is kind of crazy. That's a fun experience when you make that mental connection. Yeah, I love this film. It's daft, it's fun, it's Christmassy, it's vintage. It's kind of a vintage. God, he says vintage. When did this come out? No, 1994. I think that's valid. Yeah, it's a good film. It's a good little film, and I used to watch it every single year. Classic little live-action Disney film. Tim Allen is great in it. It's probably his best Christmas film. We're ignoring Christmas from the Cranks. With the Cranks, which is daft as fuck, but again, yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's great. It's fun. I love it.
My number 4 is... Muppet Christmas Carol.
Ah, right. Okay. I'll let you
Bro,
with this one.
This movie is such a banger. Like, and I feel like Muppet's Christmas Carol, when you're a kid, you're like, this movie isn't great. And then as you get older, you go, you know what? This movie fucking slaps. Like, I've probably seen this more times than I can count, like genuinely, because every fucking year in school they used to play this movie.
Really? I don't ever remember seeing this.
Every year without fail.
I think I've seen it like when
every
I was a kid,
year without fail.
Like,
this was the go-to Christmas movie, and my goodness, it is a certified banger. The Muppets cast, S tier. Scrooge casting, S tier. Kermit the Frog is Bob Cratchit.
I love that they're like as if Kermit the Frog. God, he deserved an Oscar for that. Like they are actual people.
No, not the guy. Kermit deserves the Oscar. That Bob Cratchit. Damn, bro, it is so good. Like it's just again, it's like, but it like Christmas Carol's been done to fucking death, and especially when being in UK schools, like. Us doing Christmas Carol as part of like the GCSE criterion. Like you watch so many different versions of this, and the Muppets Christmas Carol is just the best. Like fuck whatever the shitty animated one is that they did.
Oh, the Jim Carrey one.
Early 2000s.
That's goofy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like fucking like genuinely, this is the best version of Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
which it's educational. Love that. Like it is just a banger.
Okay,
like,
yeah, fine.
It is educational. It's part of the music. Banging. Music numbers. Did you know? Well, this isn't really a fun fact. This is deep cut lore. So when when I was in primary school, we did a Christmas Carol for one of our primary school. This is like literally linked up to another episode. We for our year 6 like school play, we did Christmas Carol, and me and my now girlfriend played Mr. and Mrs. Fezziwig in it, and had to learn to do a box step for us.
That's really cute. I think that's really cute.
Fact.
That is that's an adorable fun fact. I love that.
Yeah, there you go. Would you like to go on about Muppets Christmas Carol, about what you remember?
I don't remember anything. I remember the basics of it. I need to rewatch it, and I want to rewatch it this year.
You will, like, seriously, you will watch this year and be like, yeah, banger.
It might be my favorite Christmas film, like, full stop, if I watch it this year. You know, honestly, like, I genuinely think it has the potential to be that, because I love the Muppets.
So
I love the Muppets. I love the
Muppets.
Muppets. You know,
I love the Muppets.
And on a side note, just for current politics, keep the Muppets Theatre open. Keep the Muppets Theatre open. They're trying to close it in the Florida
really
thing. Yeah, they've got like a little Muppet Square, and they've got the 4D Vision ride, and it's the last thing Jim Henson worked on before he died, and it's like their last thing. It's been on the back burner for a few years. You could tell they're slowly getting rid of it, because the Muppets, you know, what do the Muppets do now? But they shouldn't get rid of it. They shouldn't get rid of it. Fair play.
I shouldn't have done that. Took a drink.
Very good. Oh dear.
Thank you. I'm here all day.
Thankfully.
Yeah, honestly, that's all I've got to say about Muppets Christmas. I definitely want to watch it again. I want to watch it this year, because I just remember the music and everything, like the musical numbers and songs and stuff used to be so good. So yeah, there you go. That's my number 4.
I need to rewatch it. I'm going to go straight for my number 3.
Yeah.
Which might be maybe a controversial one. You might agree with this, or you might completely disagree with this, right?
Okay.
But I have my reasons. I'll like to specify now. I think this film is annoying as fuck, but it is a very nostalgic and fun Christmas film that I do happen to have a soft spot for.
Go and say what it is.
Nativity.
Guess what my number 3 is?
No.
The Nativity. I knew the moment you went, like, the moment you were talking about it, I was like, this fucker's about to say the exact thing that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, literally, my number 3 is Nativity as well.
Yeah.
Bro, this film's a banger. Like, I'm sorry. This film fucking slaps.
I think the thing about this that I love is, I mean, I think it is annoying. I think especially now I'm older. Oh my god, the substitute teacher. My fucking god, he's a pain in the ass. But like he's supposed to be. I get it. He's supposed to be fun, and that's great. Yeah. Like, and he's great at that. He's really great in that. But I'm like, I don't know. There's something about it. Like, there's something about
objectively, the film's not great. Like, it's annoying.
No, I think it is.
It's.
I think it is.
It's like it's so like delved. Like, for me, it's like, yeah, the movie's okay, but it's like so honed in for kids. But the moment they actually do the nativity, I am so unbelievably locked in. I'm dancing in my living room.
I'm the other way around. I think the actual nativity is dog shit. I think the rest of the film is the good bit, because it's like,
I think I know the lyrics to most of the songs from the nativity.
That's crazy. That's actually embarrassing.
Like, genuinely.
So for me, I like the little moments. For me, it's like, I think Martin Freeman's perfect in this film.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was ever like replaceable. He's the best in this. And like, his little, I don't remember what it is, but there's definitely like a moment where he has like a one-on-one conversation with one of the kids, and he's like, kind of, I don't know, like kind of uplifting them a little bit. And there's so many.
I'm sure it's like, it's when they go to America, and it's like, everything starts to fall apart, and then he has to like he's been rejected by his girlfriend, like all that kind of stuff, and he then still has to like when they were like walking down the beach, and he has to motivate the kids and stuff like that. It's so good. It breaks every single law possible.
Oh,
like, it is
100%.
So against what you call it. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, you know what I mean.
International child trafficking laws.
Yeah, basically. What's it called? Safeguarding, that's what it is. It breaks every safeguarding law possible, but it's...
that's why he's not in the sequel, because he had his DBS certificate revoked.
He's given it international crime lord. DBS revoked.
I love about it is, like, do you ever think with a lot of classic Christmas films, they're American. And the thing about this is it's based in Britain, and also that it's based in a British school.
Yeah.
You know, there's something kind of special being a kid growing up in the UK and looking at a film and seeing a little bit of rep there, where it's like, you know, like the walls that are just essentially like cork, but they have those funky little borders out of like grizzled little paper that's been cut properly. Everything's stapled onto the wall, kids' drawings and pictures of the class and stuff. That, like, when I see the school in this, I'm like, this is what an
like when you see like
British
the entrance to the school and you see the reception, you see like the glass reception with the little bit at the bottom. You see like the board with head teacher, deputy head teacher, teachers, personal like assistant teachers, like that kind of stuff.
And I think that's so like
it really encapsulates
primary school,
really,
like
really
growing
well.
up, like that is exactly what I remember and exactly what that element of fun.
Our department banged.
Oh yeah, they really did with this film. They
Our department
they did. And it's fun and it's daft, and I think it's really got a heart. And I think there are some elements that you can take the piss and you can have a laugh with it, and it is a daft fucking Christmas film. It is annoying in places, but anything with Martin Freeman in this film, I think, is genuinely brilliant. I think like they're really,
I agree.
He carries a lot of the heartfelt, real moments. He makes it grounded and he makes it a better film. And I think that charm is what they lose in the sequels. The many sequels. How many fucking Nativity sequels have they done?
I think there's 3 or 4.
4? There's not 4, man.
4.
There is 4.
3 then. There is 4.
Nativity. Is it Nativity 2 Danger in the Manger? I've seen that because that has David Tennant in it.
Is Dude Where My Donkey number 3?
Nativity 3 Dude Where's My Donkey, and then there was another one called Nativity Rocks, which came out in 2018. And I'm kind of glad they stopped there. To be honest.
I've not seen. So Nativity 1, I think, is the best one. Nativity 2 is still good, not as good as the original. And then I remember Nativity 3 just not being very good at all.
Nativity Rocks stars Craig Revel.
I don't know what Nativity Rocks is.
Tells you everything you fucking need to know.
Do you know they're doing Nativity the musical?
See, like, unironically, that's a brilliant idea. That's how you do a spin-off of that fucking film, right? Because it's shit, but it's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're doing Nativity the musical is an actual thing.
I think that's a good idea. I think like the story is great and it's nostalgic and it's still fucking British. That it works so well. I don't think anyone in any other country would find it enjoyable at all.
Is that Sharon Osbourne? No.
She must have a cameo.
Oh my god, it is.
What do you mean?
Sharon Osbourne, Danny Dyer.
Oh, Danny Dyer. Well, that's shit. What the fuck is he doing in it?
Ryan Clark Neal, Simon Lipkin. Why is Ryland in there as well?
Oh, of course, Ryland's in everything, man.
Oh, but yeah, it's a good idea. Like, but that's the thing for me. It was the musical numbers, like the songs for the actual Nativity.
Yeah.
Fucking bang.
Yeah.
Sparkle and shine.
They did cook with that a little bit.
Like, that's the thing though. You remember being that kid and being that tree or that star or that angel. Like Emperor Palpatine as what's his name?
King Herod. Go on, Herod. Make a deep cut, you prick. What did you play in that fucking Nativity? What did you play?
I played Borat the Donkey Seller.
Borat the Donkey Seller.
I was a donkey seller, but I did
doing a
I
Borat
basically
voice.
did it with Borat's accent. Yeah,
I'm sure that's going to age well. Let's get a clip up of that at Christmas. That'd be good.
You've got that somewhere.
Oh, I have. Brave to assume I'm not keeping that for a rainy day, aka the Christmas special of Nostalgia Bay.
That'd be good.
Anyway, crack on. I guess we've got the same
2.
one. I don't know if you've got my number 2 on your list. Again,
I definitely
this
don't.
film, objectively, if I had to rank it as a film, is absolute dog shit. The acting is appalling. It's barely funny, and the ending is hilariously cringe. However, I just love it because it's so bad, and also because it is just, I don't know, it's just fucking great in a way as well. Jingle All the Way.
I've not got this on my list.
Not good. Okay, Jingle All the Way
think I've seen
is
this.
a great little film. So the lead is it's starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. That's the lead cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger basically is a really bad dad. Effectively, he's a really shit dad, and his son, played by Jake Lloyd, Anakin Skywalker, is really wanting a Turbo Man Christmas toy, And his dad's like, oh, I promise I'll get you one. And he doesn't get it. And he forgets. So he goes out on Christmas Eve to go and get the most popular toy. And that's the concept of the film. It's Arnold running around shopping malls, attacking old women, touching up genuine toddlers, not in that way, like abusing people, hitting people, fighting people, just to get his hands on this shitty plastic naff toy for his son. And it has some really funny scenes as a kid, and it is, as a kid, one of the best Christmas films as a kid. Absolutely love it. As an adult watching it, it is terrible, but then also hilarious, because you also have Phil Hartman. Yeah. Phil Hartman? Do you know he's like The Simpsons? He's known as that guy. He's like, he's got that really distinct voice. And he basically, while Arnold's out trying to get a toy for his kid, Phil Hartman is just basically trying desperately to fuck Arnold's wife. It's so funny because he's like the perfect dad. Right? He's at home. He's a single dad. He's got a little kid.
He's done his Christmas shopping 3 weeks early. Like,
it's such a bad film, but it's also genius in some way. They captured something in that, but the ending is terrible, and the ending actually I think ruins the film. The ending makes it a wholesome Christmas film, but it ruins the film, I think, because I think the film is funny. And there's basically a town parade that's going on and hinted at throughout the whole film on Christmas Eve.
What is it with Christmas films and doing a town parade?
It's American. I don't know what they fucking do. But basically there's a Turbo Man part of the parade, and Arnie finds himself basically being put in the Turbo Man costume in the parade, and then has to pick a kid to give the toy to, right? Because he gets a free toy to give away. So obviously he picked his own son. But then Sinbad, who basically plays a postman throughout most of the film, is basically Arnie's nemesis in this film. He's also trying to get his hands on the toy, but can't. Yeah. He shows up playing the villain of Turbo Man in like a different costume. He's snuck in.
Yeah.
And then they have this basically this entire thing, which includes Arnie flying around in a jetpack somehow, and the postman guy's hand detaching and firing out as if they were the real comic book characters. Yeah. And putting the kid's life in danger, and then saving the day, and it being like, oh my god, it was me all along. And then the kid at the end turns around and goes, "Oh, I don't want the toy anymore. I've got the real Turbo Man at home."
I've got the real thing.
And it's like, you fucking spoilt little prick. I can't believe that. Oh, it's annoying every time. But it's a great film. It's daft as fuck. It's shit, but it's great. Anyway, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Love Actually.
Okay, yeah.
Love Actually, I only watched the first time a couple of years ago.
I only watched it for the first time last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I watched it again last year, and I was like, yeah, this solidifies as like...
it slaps.
Again, I'm a sucker for a good like rom-com, like hearty romance movie. I love Notting Hill. I think I mentioned it as one of my honorable mentions when we did the top movies. But Love Actually is just the cast, like really like banger. They've pulled every fucking stop out for the cast, but it's just so wholesome. Like it covers so many bases, and like everybody has like their favorite romance bit. Also, the movie that I discovered, what's his fucking name? Andrew Lincoln, is English. Yeah. I had no fucking clue he was an English actor, because I watched this for the first time when I was in first year of uni.
Oh, right.
And I remember watching it, because I'd obviously watched Walking Dead as a kid, like grew up watching Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it being like, wow, Andrew Lincoln has a great English accent.
No, he was English.
Where he's from. I was like, what the actual fuck is this?
He's really good at doing the American accent. Yeah.
I literally texted that being like, since when was Andrew Lincoln from the UK? But yeah,
it's crazy.
It's such like a wholesome... If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's like,
I love it. I think...
It's for the family. It's so cute and so like... Yeah, like...
It's good.
I love Liam Neeson and what's his name's like dynamic. Like, it's just so like the little kid who fancies the girl at school...
It's very romantic, like, isn't it? And it's a classic-y sort of Christmas film, and I love it for that. Yeah. But I think...
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just something about it, I think, because it's one of those things where it's built up so much that by the time I got around to watching it, I was sort of like, I didn't get it in the same sort of way. I thought it was a brilliant Christmas film, don't get me wrong, but like I was like, it was good. And the cast was excellent, and the story was great. It was just like, I don't know. I feel like I was missing something that I was maybe expecting it to be, but it's fine. Yeah, it's a great shout, great film.
Yeah. There you go. So there's my number 2.
Do we go for number 1?
If you want to go for number 1. I think I know what your number one is because the only one you haven't mentioned.
Well, is it? Though?
Yeah. What's Home Alone?
No, it's not. My number one pick, specifically, I should ask, is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Really?
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York is better than the first. Can we just put that out there straight away? It is the same film as the first, so technically less original, but it does it better, I think. I watched Home Alone recently again.
I mean, it stars Donald Trump, so it's obviously better. Sorry.
Can we clarify?
Side point.
Can we clarify?
Complete side point.
Can we clarify Cooper's political stance, please?
Do you follow like discussing film on?
Yes, I do.
Home
Alone 2 star has been impeached. Yeah, I've seen it.
That makes me laugh every time. That's why I made the joke.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 star Donald Trump has been announced as the new president of the United States.
Cooper loves Home Alone 2 because Donald Trump is in it. His idol. No. If only Joe Rogan was in it, you'd be laughing.
Or crying. One of the two.
No, Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is... Well, first of all, Home Alone itself is a great Christmas film. And I resent the idea of it being like a passive Christmas film. I think it is genuinely one of the most Christmassy feeling films I've ever watched. Like, I sat there and watched it again recently, and I was like, this is actually brilliant. Like, it is just objectively a very, very good film. It's fucking hilarious. It's actually very funny. As an adult, as a kid, it's one of the only Christmas films, I think, that manages to capture that all ages thing. It's entertaining for kids, and it's really entertaining for adults as well, and it balances it so well. Home Alone 2, I think, does the same, but better. In my opinion, because not only have you ramp up all the jokes from the first film,
so
it pays off because you've got Tim Curry who plays like the hotel concierge who is determined that like Kevin's like using his dad's credit card, and you have that whole thing where they're chasing through the hotel and they do the whole videotape thing from the first film. But again, it's better. They have like the traps at the end of the film, same as the first film. But better, like the bit where Kevin just throws bricks off the top of like a 4-story building and it hits Marv in the fucking head 3 times. He should be dead, but that makes it so good. But yeah, it essentially does everything the same as the first film, but better. I think it sort of takes what works about the first film and ramps it up, and it doesn't detract from any sort of story points. I think like it's obviously a bit more far-fetched that he ends up in a different city, but I think they just do it again. But it's the whole thing of doing it again, but better. Home Alone's a brilliant Christmas film, but Home Alone 2, I think, betters itself. Where I think Home Alone 2 is more of a rewatchable film. You've got some really funny moments in there. Especially with having the bandits back already wanting to go after Kevin, like already like hell-bent on killing him, basically, as opposed to stopping him, it makes it more serious but also funnier because of that.
Yeah.
Also, Piers Morgan's in this film.
Is he?
Yeah, you not seen Piers Morgan in this film?
It's been a long time since but again, it's like I'd always go to watch Home Alone 1, if that makes sense.
Type in Piers Morgan Home Alone 2 on Google. I'll let you win. You listeners at home, you can do it as well. It's definitely him.
Fuck's sake, yeah. Definitely 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's him, innit? That's a joke.
Pigeon lady.
Yeah, we should probably stop talking about people like Piers Morgan and Donald Trump and Joe Rogan and just establish that they're all cunts and we all hate them.
Yes, I second that very, very, very much.
Anyway, yeah, Home Alone as a series, I think, is probably some of the best Christmas films can get. I think in terms of audience, in terms of really getting it right for kids as well as adults. Like, I had such a good time rewatching Home Alone, and I guarantee that when I rewatch Home Alone 2, I'll have equally as much for good time. I'm really just, I love them. I think they're great. I think I've watched them so many times, and I just always love them. You can never recreate the magic of those first 2 films. The only way they could do a good Home Alone sequel, because they've tried with different kids, and they've tried it again, they've tried it 2 reboots, 3 reboots, like a more recent one. The only acceptable one that I could possibly think of that they could do would be like a John Wick style R-rated fucking, like Catherine O'Hara gets actually, like the mum gets kidnapped by the fucking wet bandits.
Yeah.
And they threaten her life, and Kevin McAllister fucking comes up out of his whatever. He's older now. and he sets up a house of actual violent traps to finally finish these fuckers off. I think that would be the best film. I genuinely think that would be such a fucking funny film. It'd be great
funny to do, like,
if they made it genuinely serious and actually did it like as like a low budget thing and made it like a proper Home Alone.
Yeah, like proper original, like try and get the original house. Like, it'd be unreal.
I'd love to see that, but they'll never do it.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it. That's the only way a Home Alone sequel for me could work, where you could do it Christmas time.
Yeah, it's
and
just
the Wet Bandits get
all
out.
The way up.
They get out of prison and they decide we're gonna
relapse straight away.
Yeah,
we're gonna kill him,
and we're gonna have Kevin using like loads of fucking Amazon Alexa devices to fucking take them all out, like actual weapons, like actual
Alexa,
firearms.
Intruder alert! All the lights go red.
The intro guitar from Welcome to the Jungle starts playing, and then on the TV
starts playing.
He gets the bloke in from the actual film who's like an actual man going like, but it's actually like a hologram of him going like, "You filthy animal," fucking firing a gun.
You could have the like, you know, the guy in the first movie, the guy with the pickaxe. You could have him be like, you know, the guy that they're all scared of in the first movie.
He's got a shovel. He's got a pickaxe.
Shovel, sorry, a pickaxe. Shovel. But, like, because, you know, they're all scared of him, that he's, like, digging graves and killing people. Like, you could actually do that.
Yeah. You could do it
have
all
him
back.
as a murderer.
Yeah. You'd have them all as, like, anime sort of villains, couldn't you? Like, the grave digger and the pigeon woman from the second film.
The grave digger.
The pigeons actually kill people.
The grave digger, the pigeon one. Yeah, because I agree.
Anyway, that's my pitch for Home Alone 3, the official Home Alone 3. Anyway, Cooper, what's your number one film pick?
Do you know what my number one is? Because I know you said you have a feeling you knew what it was.
I can have a guess.
Do you want to have a guess?
Because I could guess what it is based on your previous picks for best films and the common theme of director and cast. I would say Polar Express.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You love Forrest Gump, and it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it's Tom Hanks.
Completely unintentionally, by the way. Like, genuinely, like, completely unintentionally. Like, Polar Express, looking back, Polar Express really probably is a top 5 movie for me. Like genuinely. Because it holds so much weight for me. Like, this film is heavy nostalgia, but also I still love this movie. This is the movie that my dad fucking hates, by the way. This is what I was talking about at the start.
Okay.
Me and my sister adore this movie. It's one of my sister's favourite movie. A favourite Christmas movie, but my dad just can't stand it. He hates and I fully understand it, the weird CG, like, half animated, half, like, in real life, like, style. Like,
Christmas in real life.
Christmas in real life. Like, and I get it. It is such a weird animation style. The mocap. And it's fucking weird that Tom Hanks plays like 90% of the characters in this movie.
I think it's cool.
But again,
it's a great stylistic choice.
It's funny.
But yeah.
But it's like, I used to watch this movie every year. We used to have it on DVD with my nana every year. It used to be that I used to go to my nana's like on a weekend when my parents worked and stuff like that. What movie we're going to watch around Christmas? Polar Express. Every weekend. I'd watch this 4 or 5 times over the Christmas season alone. And it still holds so much weight for me. The storyline, I think, is phenomenal. Like, and to be honest, I could go about this not even from like a technical standpoint. Like, animation I really like, storyline I really like. It's just a fucking wholesome movie. The music is fucking gorgeous for this movie, and I'm not talking about the musical numbers. The actual like soundtrack for it is gorgeous. It's so like it just resonates Christmas for me. Like, you hear the Polar Express theme, it's Christmas. And for me, and as I've gotten older, the bit I love the most is the about not believing in Christmas. Christmas for me has always been my holiday. I'm not a big Halloween person. Easter, it comes and goes. Christmas was always my holiday. It's always that we have the most traditions as a family. I'm still so anal about some of my traditions. Like, I refuse to get a fake tree in my house. Like, I will literally, like, I will handcuff myself to this tree to be able to have a real tree in my house. Like, I'm that kind of person. But I fully understand people want to have fake trees. But it's
don't
like,
listen to him.
and I fully understand. Like, I've got nothing against them, but for me, it's like I just have this. Like, all the traditions, like when we were younger,
I understand that. Like, I understand that.
Like, when we were younger, it's like we used to watch it on Christmas Eve. We used to watch Polar Express on Christmas Eve. We used to have a thing where when like me and my sister used to like it used to be a thing where we used to have to like have a shower or a bath on Christmas Eve, so you're like ready for Santa coming, and my parents used to like have a bell that used to ring to Santa's coming. Used to have like a speaker where they'd play like the sound of reindeer on like the roof, and then we'd go to our bedrooms. My sister used to share a room. Used to go to our bedroom. There used to be like new dramas and stuff. Complete tangent, but for me it's the believing, it's the bell bit for me. It's the use of the sound of I can't hear the bells. Well, why can't you hear the bells? Because you don't believe, and it's the seeing Santa. I love
the. It's a really great bit of mythology that they implement.
I love the way they did the reindeers. Like they made the reindeers massive. They made Santa like this big figure like this, and like that whole sequence of them going down into the elves' factory and going all the way down that, and even like there's just so much about it that I love about it. But that bit in particular, like I can't hear it, and then he picks up the bell and then goes and he goes, you don't believe, and then he rings it and you can start to hear it. And we have the bells, like we did when the Polar Express was a thing, when you used to be able to go on the train.
Yes.
We did it. So
oh my god, did you?
Nice. I have actually. I was about to pull the So I've got a new desk. I was about to pull the drawer out of my desk because I have the pocket watch. I have the Polar Express pocket watch.
Oh my god!
That the conductor has, and we have two of the bells. And every year it goes pride of place on my Christmas tree and will for the rest of my life. And it's always every year.
That's such a nice tradition.
Make sure you still believe. But that's my thing. That's why it holds. Like you can like objectively, it's a good movie. I love the soundtrack. I love the animation. Acting's great. Tom Hanks fucking smashes it out the park. Like it's amazing. But for me, it's like I like that the deeper part of it, like what it means to me more than anything. Because when I was like fucking 4-year-old watching the first time, I wasn't sitting there going, "Wow, Tom Hanks is giving really great voice acting and vocab for this." It's I look at it, and it is for a lot of my movies. I look at it as how I always remember it.
And that's important as well. I think that's really important because it's all about tradition. It's all about like the kind of memories you have with films, and it's the same with a lot of Christmas films, and a lot of people resonate with that. Yeah. Polar Express is definitely one I love. It's not been on my list, and it's not even been an honorable mention, but it's just one that it does stand out. And the more you talk about it and how passionately you feel about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it is excellent, isn't it? Really. Like,
don't get me started about that fucking hot chocolate musical scene. That shit.
Well, I was gonna say, I never did the Polar Express like experience thing. Yeah. My brother did when he was a kid. But in our house, we've got the ceramic hot chocolate mugs.
I've got it as well.
Can't believe we got the same ones. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've got the mug, the bell, and I've got the. I literally, if I'd had, I can't think about where I put it somewhere. It's in a drawer somewhere. But I've got like, it's just mega for me. I watch it every year without fail. Yeah. And that's why me and my sister were so like, we want to fucking go and see this movie in the cinema this year. Like, it would be amazing to see on the big screen. So,
I love it.
Fingers crossed. But yeah.
Fingers crossed for you.
I enjoyed that. I love Christmas so much. And I've got my Christmas jumper on.
Well, we're in the right season for it.
Yeah,
we've got plenty more Christmassy things where that came from. Obviously, we're in the season now of December. Yeah. Before we move on to just news, I want to just kind of throw in next week. We have a very special episode. We have the Nostalgia Bait Awards. Now, if you haven't been hearing about what we've been playing,
I'm so excited for this.
The Nostalgia Bait Awards are basically a little opportunity for us to sort of celebrate the best and worst of 2024. And you guys get to vote and decide what you think is the best. It's a Google form. It's a Google sheet. It's available now to fill in. Now will probably be one of your last chances when this episode comes out. So if you haven't already, check in the description below. Check us on Twitter, on YouTube. There are links everywhere. You'll be able to find it somehow. If you don't, you can always message us on Twitter or anything like that, and we'll happily send you a link.
If you're on YouTube now or on Spotify, you could literally go on to the Nostalgia page, scroll down like 2 videos, and you'll see like our promotional video for it, and it'll be in the description of this as well. But if you want to watch the promotional video as well, it'll be there as well.
Absolutely. But it's really exciting. We've got over 180 votes already. Filled in by people just for loads of different categories, which is great.
I've been getting messages from people that I know, like people that I didn't know watch the podcast, being like, "Can you send me the form so I can fill the form in?"
Great, it's really great. I'm excited for that.
People pointing out like, "Oh, why isn't this on here? Why didn't you put this on here? Oh, this is wrong." Like,
I've had to add loads of other sections because people kept complaining.
Really,
but anyway, that's next week, so look forward to that. We hope to see you all there for that. But
we are getting suited and booted for that. I'm going to be absolutely suited and booted for that.
And we've got some exciting Christmas stuff down the line as well. We've got we've got a few episodes this month in December. I'm not going to say much more, but we've got some really exciting stuff planned. Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Christmas is for nostalgia, bit. That's what it is.
Exactly. Christmas is for nostalgia.
Cool.
Anyway.
Yeah. Just news time?
I think it is. Go on. Get into your story. Just fire right into it.
I hunted down for this Just News story, so welcome to Just News.
Okay.
I dug for this news story today. I just could not find one that I was like, this is Just News worthy, okay?
Yeah.
But this is a funny story, okay?
Okay, good.
George,
that's a good start.
there's a TV show. It's got nothing to do with Christmas, by the way, so fucking get that shit out of here for like 10-15 minutes.
Glad we rounded off the Christmas talk then. Okay, good.
Yeah. George, what TV show are we both happen to be watching at the moment that we were just discussing before this podcast?
Oh, Gavin and Stacey? No? Oh, Game of Thrones.
No, I don't think we talk Game of Thrones, yes.
Don't spoil it for us, I'll kill you.
From allthat'sinteresting.com.
Okay.
Kansas man requested a Game of Thrones style trial by combat against his ex-wife to settle their custody dispute.
That is mental. Because it is like an actual right, isn't it? In some laws, I think you actually can do it nowadays.
The 40-year-old father claims he made the request merely to match the absurdity he believes he endured from his ex's attorney throughout the divorce. Ooh. It's no secret divorce can get ugly, but sometimes they even veer on the ridiculous. As in the case of the Kansas man who asked an Iowa court to approve a trial by combat against his ex-wife using Japanese swords.
What?
According to USA Today, the samurai wannabe is 40-year-old David Ostrom, who told the court that his ex-wife Bridget Ostrom had, in quotes, destroyed him legally.
Jesus.
Thus, it only made sense that they settle their custody battle using a traditional from a culture he most certainly knows nothing about. The sword battle, Ostrom said, would allow him to duke it out with his ex and her eternity, in quotes, on the field of battle, where he will rend their souls from their corporeal bodies.
Oh, you cooked with this one. Sorry, so I love the fact as well that he is not even. He's just like, I am going to fight.
This is actually quoted as well. Like this is actually
I can
quoted.
see this as a quote. Yeah. That he will fight the ex or the ex's attorney. Can you imagine being an attorney for a divorce and then suddenly you're being told you might want to do a trial by combat?
Armor up, bro.
Suit up. Oh my god.
On the field of battle where he will rend their souls from their... I'd love to be that person in court who has to type... You know the transcripts that they do in court? I'd love to be that person
I'd be
that
sat
has to type
there
that out.
cracking up. I'd be like, fucking hell. Oh, God.
Yikes. To accommodate the duel, Ostrom said that the Iowa District Court would allow him 12 weeks of lead time to either make some samurai swords, preferably katana or wakizashi.
Bro thinks he's fucking Tony Stark, man. Like...
Bro's going to be in a cave.
Yeah,
Bro's going to go and study the blade for 12 weeks before he has to be his ex-wife's attorney. Ostrom, in his defense, at least tried to make a compelling argument as to why the custody battle should be settled in such an extreme way.
I'm open to this.
Quote, to this day, trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in the United States, Ostrom asserted.
Interesting. I mean, that's true, technically.
It's true. I wonder if it is in the UK.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. I think...
Ostrom asserted that the antiquated method had been used, quote, as recently as 1818 in British court.
Yeah,
maybe,
that's what I was thinking.
Which was, in fact, 200 years ago outside and of the US. Not to mention that British sword fighting is probably a lot different than Japanese-based duel Ostrom referred to in his request.
I
think 100% is.
Surely, yeah.
It's completely different.
But a trial by combat happened in 1818 in Britain. That's crazy to me. Is that a thing? Trial by combat. It's probably not. It's not gonna come up. I don't think. Oh no, it is.
The final trial by combat.
It was a trial by battle on private appeal. Charged with someone who was charged with murder. I don't know. Christ. Interesting. Well, that's weird. I don't know who won, but it's a long
according
Wikipedia
to the register,
article.
Ostrom's request came from the frustrations with dealing with his ex-wife's attorney, Matthew Hudson. Though he did not elaborate on the specifics, Ostrom said he wanted to match the absurd behaviour he believes he has received from Hudson throughout the case.
Fair enough.
Quote, I think I've met Mr. Hudson's absurdity with my own absurdity, Ostrom said. He added that his ex-wife was well within her rights to choose her attorney as a champion or stand-in fighter, because apparently women aren't all capable of wielding swords.
Ooh.
Bullshit.
About
by
that,
the way.
man. Have you seen Brianna?
Absolute horseshit.
Brienne, not Brianna.
Oh, Brianna. Sorry, I was gonna say. I thought you said Rihanna, and I was like,
Rihanna. Yeah, Rihanna
what?
could do it.
oh no.
I bring out my champion, Rihanna. No, I was talking about Brienne. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Brienne of Tarth. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So TLDR of this article, because it's quite long.
It is a long article, isn't it?
Fortunately, the case did not rule on either party's motions. Nonetheless, a case for the books, so they did not request his request for trial by combat. My question to you, George, is if you were to be thrown in, let's say we had a fallout and we needed to decide, let's say we had a massive fallout and we had to decide who owns the rights to Nostalgia Bait. And we were like, we're doing this old school style trial by combat. What would your chosen weapon be?
Oh,
melee weapon. You're not picking a gun.
Yeah, AK-47.
A rocket launcher.
A singular grenade. No, I'll pick. That's a good question. Oh, you need something that you can fucking swing proper, you know? I sort of feel like given where we're up to in Game of Thrones, I can confidently say I wouldn't go for a spear.
Yep, true.
Are we fighting?
If we were fighting,
me and you. Oh, I'm.
If we were fighting for the right,
I'm fucked. Cooper, you have a katana on your fucking bedside table or some shit. You're smaller than me. You could fucking slice up my kneecaps. But again, to reference Game of Thrones, I feel like I would be the equivalent of the Mountain. One slip up and you're fucked.
Would be like it would be Tyrion versus the Mountain. it would be Tyrion versus the Mountain, wouldn't it?
I wasn't even thinking of Tyrion, but sure.
I would pick. Do you know what?
I'd
either go.
I think like a mace.
I'd either go
for me.
Katana,
something big. Like
I'd probably go sword.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we saying? Are we? Hang on. Are we saying prep time? Are we saying prep time? Or are we saying like tomorrow?
Well, I'm not going to find a mace by tomorrow, whereas you can get a katana like just there. I feel that's a bit unfair. I think prep time is allowed, surely.
Because I'm quite fond of like a great sword. Like I'm quite fond of like a longsword, great sword kind of thing, like a two-hander. This is from playing Dungeons and Dragons.
You're fucked.
But
I'm sorry, too slow.
Katana would be to match my physique. I'd probably have to go like rapier or katana, like something like that.
I
like a
probably
smaller
would
size,
say
like scimitar
kind
or
of
something
like
like
a big sword or like a mace.
Big
I
sword.
think it needs to be something to hit. I think what I need is I haven't got it. I need something big and heavy that's not sharp, and I need a small knife.
Yeah,
and I'm sorted. I could fucking crack you over the head with a mace, knock you on the floor, and just there you go, done.
What are they called? Like the big, like a club, like something like a big club.
Well, again, like a
Negan's
mace,
baseball bat.
Yeah, something like that. Something I can just swing at you and hit you with. Although a sword fight would be kind of cool, but then the problem is we'd probably start recreating the Last Jedi review video that we made, so
that
can't really win. Just saying.
Yeah, we'd go to like the same.
I choose lightsaber.
Yeah, I'd choose that would be cool. Lightsaber one would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's
thank
fun.
you.
That's a good little. I like the trial by combat.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. Like I said, I dug for this, and I saw it. And I was like, I have to. I was like, it's
good.
It's so
relevant.
So good.
And I'm so glad we're up to the point together where we're at the same point in Game of Thrones. We'll probably talk about Game of Thrones on the podcast one day, by the way. Which is
100%. We are
behind.
Once we both finish Game of Thrones, I think once we both finish. Hang on. Do not throw shade at me being behind. You were well behind me.
Hang on, I think we're both behind. As in, we're 2 seasons behind the finale, so don't spoil it.
I thought you were throwing shade at me for being slightly behind you. But yeah, we're getting through it. But
like
we're definitely once we're both done.
It's not that big of a dick.
Once we're actually 2, but once we're both done, we're going to do a Game of Thrones episode 100%. And I think we'll probably do a House of Dragons episode as well because
at some point.
I mean,
we both love Matt Smith, so.
But thank you so much for watching this episode of Nostalgia Bait. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave us a like and comment what your chosen weapon would be in Trial by Combat. If you were
your favourite Christmas film.
Or your favorite Christmas film, or that one. That's a good one. I completely forgot what this episode was about. Try by comment all the way.
I thought that's where you were going.
Comment your favorite Christmas film, right? Here we go. Right, comment your favorite Christmas. This is on Spotify as well. Spotify's comments now, which is still crazy to me. Comment. Okay. Your favorite Christmas film.
Yes.
And then if you had to fight me and George for the right of nostalgia bait, what would your chosen melee weapon be? Keyword is melee weapon. Okay.
Also, if you were to fight me and Cooper, you'd be fucked because we're like Donkey and Diddy Kong. We'd fuck you up, bro.
Bro, we'd 100% have combo moves. We'd have proper combo moves. We're Rocket and Groot.
We are a little bit, aren't we? I feel like you'd like I'd sort of like get down on a knee and you'd like run up my back and go like
yeah, it's like I have like with like if I had like small knives you can like
yeah.
shadow and I'll go like come out your shadow. Yeah, anyway, if you're on YouTube, please leave a comment, please like, subscribe to the Nostalgia Bit channel if you're not already. If you're on Spotify, please leave us a hearty 5-star review. It really helps and we really appreciate it. Make sure you follow as well. Make sure you check out Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of the social medias. We love you. Thank you for watching this episode of Nostalgia Bait, and we will see you next week for the Nostalgia Bait Awards. That's not going to be there because I do not know how to animate that, but bye-bye.
See you later.